Yes, recording is in progress. So before Mireia starts, maybe a few words about the agenda. So firstly, we will do the project introduction. It will be done by Mireia and also by Francisco. Then Patricia Kula will answer some questions and also introduce you the expression of interest requirements. And then the last part will be the Q&A session, during which our experts from the project, both technical and also experts from the expression of interest platform, will be answering your questions. So what you can do if you are having any doubts, if you are having any questions, please write them on chat. And then in the last part of this webinar, we will answer them. I believe this is it from my side. Mireia, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Marta. We can start with this introduction of the ARISE. ARISE is an ambitious initiative, the way we approach collaborative human-robot application in Europe. The main familiar keywords in our project is robotics, middleware, human-robot interaction, a human-centric aspect, and AI futures. Here you can see our consortium map involving partners from 5 countries: Europe, Spain, Italy, Germany, Poland, and Finland. Our message is we want to develop a new open middleware that helps European companies to generate robotic applications in an agile and robust way, respecting ethical and security standards to contribute to competitiveness of European companies. Next. We promote the use of open source technologies that enable flexible and adaptable integration disputed edge middleware, focusing on developing human-centric technologies that prioritize user safety, comfort, and efficiency, ensuring that these robotic solutions are beneficial to humans. Incorporating advanced AI models to improve the capabilities of these reusable human-robot interaction solutions. Our goal is to drive advanced applications, making these technologies accessible, efficient, and centered on human needs. For testing and experimentation facilities are the pilots where the integration and implementation plans are developed during the first year of the project. 2 rounds of the experiment will be the funded project in the second and the third year. Next, please. This is the ARISE life cycle. During the first year, 2024, our focus is in the testing and experimentation in our pilots to obtain the ARISE toolbox. The outcome of this year are the result we set the information for uncomment open call processes. Then FSTP call launch, initiating the process for funded experiment. Supporting and mentoring will provide as a guidance from ARISE partners for all participants. Expected result of the development of advanced industrial solution demonstrator and reusable human-robot interaction modules. In the meantime, we are working on the creation of the ARISE ecosystem during all the project. Next slide, please. Next. Our primary goal is to develop a cutting-edge open-source middleware that empowers European companies. The open-source technologies involve a fireware, ROS2-based as Vulkan Nexus tools, and ROS4HRI standard, as also support AI human-robot interaction models. Now, Francisco Melendez, as a technical coordinator, can provide you more details about this ARISE middleware.
Great, thank you, Mireia. Well, this detailed figure has been created because of the questions that we received in the previous webinar. And we included 2 slides. This first one, for what is it exactly our approach to the design and development of the solutions. And the next slide would focus on what you will be doing as potential winning projects to contribute to the ARISE framework. So what the block in the left with the purple cases want to express is that for sure, technology providers or even the existing legacy deployments in the end user facilities are applications which rely and leverage whatever technology you already have. And the idea of the ARISE project is not to be intrusive at all, and facilitate the seamless integration of some additional development. So to us, there is a first layer, which is the cyber physical layer with some hardware. In here you see robotics platforms, sensoring, cameras, some additional enabling devices, PLCs, SCADAs, and some information systems that are running really nearby the automation part. And on top of it, some skills. This is not meant to be the reference model for every single application. We just consider that somehow we are perceiving the environment, doing some planning, and then some actions with the automation. Somehow a control framework is supporting some external APIs. What we are offering to you? For your external APIs, if they are already ROS2 based, we do have a component which is Vulkan Nexus and will support natively your interfaces based on ROS2. If you are relying on HTTP-based REST interfaces, what we are bringing is a standard API, NGS-ILD API, so you will be able to integrate your interfaces. If that is not the case, you are neither using ROS2 or REST, you will be building on something similar to OPC UA, Modbus, MQTT, Ethernet IP, or some kind of industry protocol. For this, we are bringing these features that are making up the ARISE middleware SDK, in particular, IoT agents for those who are willing to integrate REST-based systems, DDS pipes for those who need real-time enabled requirements. Once you go through the middleware layer, what ARISE brings to you is kind of a catalog of utilities that are off the shelf and ready to use. For instance, in the robotics domain, we will be offering packages for one particular task, such as screw driving, kitting, assembly, or a series of skills, such as grasp this object with that particular constraint, or go to that point in this way. The idea is that frameworks such as NAV2, MOVEit, or this kind of frameworks or solutions, building on them are easily deployed to your solution. This is the part for ROS2, but regarding FiWare, we are also opening the space for using as off-the-shelf tools for aggregations, data management, data connector to the well-known databases approaches in the market, so you can implement your persistent layer in your data center, also connection to Grafana dashboard for your analytics, or to optimizers for some kind of advanced scheduling or planning services for your solution. Also the integration with some particular third-party services that could be beyond the data center. So the FiWare stack will help you to connect to particular deployments with private clouds, hybrid clouds, or multi-cloud environments, thanks to the context broker technology and the different enablers that we have around it. Third part is that we also support you in the design phase, because we are bringing some specifications and rules and tools for ensuring that your solution aligns with the requirements, ethical requirements, and human-centric requirements that collaborative robotics applications require. And we are bringing some de facto standard, open de facto standard, ROS for HRI, for encoding the different joints of the humans and the joint task space where humans and robot collaborates, NGS-ILD for the HTTP and IT world, and DDS and ROS2 for the, let's say, full performance communication with the middleware. So this is more or less the full map. If you do have questions from my presentation, just keep them. And after the entire presentation, I will go in more detail to, let's say, to meet the requirements of your questions. This is the first view I wanted to present. The second one Yes, thank you, Patricia. Is what you will be doing during the project, and this is why we have configured this type of contribution pipeline to the ARISE framework. So in the end, the end users and the tech providers, which are part of our ARISE ecosystem, you will be part of the ARISE ecosystem as soon as you prepare your application. We will receive some kind of end user requirements. And in here, the end user and the tech provider will discuss and agree on a potential set of objectives that in the end will result in a work plan. In the eventual execution of your project with ARISE, the work plan phase is mapping into something we call the individual mentoring plan. And in there, you will have the plan for the execution of the project, and you will receive support to put it in place. But what I want to stress in here is that you will be implementing 3 functional prototypes. The first one is the proof of concept, the POC, and this one is open source. And it only consists of an open reference implementation of the module of the robot skills and task managers that you consider that are required for the solution, and some kind of demonstration tutorial, which is just a happy path for the execution and some how an implementation that allows a newcomer to test before invest the module you have created. The second thing is a business case demonstrator. And this proof of concept is to be tailored, improved. Your algorithm could include some kind of IP inside in order to perform industry grade. That does not necessarily need to be open. This could be something closed. This could be particular blocks of the open proof of concept that has been replaced by your IP modules. That is, the idea is that we go as far as possible with the maturity of the demonstrator. And the third one is a deliverable with this reusable package that may include one or a series of robot skills with particular task managers to execute complex tasks. In this case, the business model is on your side to select which one it is. It could be fully open source, closed, or a hybrid solution where we do have this community version and the enterprise version. In either cases, you will be delivering this open proof of concept improved with the lessons learned from your business case demonstrator. So we will always have this open proof of concept available and well documented. And with that, the contribution pipeline is covered. Your solution will be included in the ARISE catalog and fed back into the ARISE ecosystem. And this will be more or less the story of you as an applicant and of our side as an ecosystem for the creation of reusable robot skills. This is what I had, Patricia, for this section. This part, I think I will cover it too, despite my angle is technical. In ARISE, there is one core pillar, and it's not isolating the human aspects from the technical ones. We need to build the necessary bridges so that we are embracing human-centric principles from the very beginning. And the deliverable or the outcome of the project in these terms is this social sciences and humanities framework. This is from where the abbreviation SSH is coming from. What is this framework? We have compiled this slide just to try to illuminate you a bit on what is it exactly this. So the purpose is clear: embedding ethical, legal, and societal considerations into the technical developments we are going to carry out. With thorough exercise in reviewing the related literature and what is captured in the standards, we have activated these 3 main chapters: ethical impact assessment for human-centric design. What is the proper means to co-develop something from the SSH dimension with the technicians that are going to create the robotics application, and then kind of in the very vast industry standard landscape, identifying proper pathways so that for you it's easy to identify what standards are relevant to you in your application. So in practice, this will bring to you? You will receive specifications, recommendations, lessons learned, and some guidelines from our pool of experts, but also some kind of catalyst element in use cases where we kind of connect the dots for you in one particular reference solution that is an illustrative example or inspirational for your work. Then, of course, you will account for people, experts, consortium that will help you navigate through your problems. And well, I think that now I have covered everything from the SSH, and it's time to move forward. And perhaps, yes, I think Mireia is taking over from here. Thank you.
Thank you, Francisco. We can continue with the testing and experimentation facilities as the pilot in the project. We can go to the next slide. Each pilot leads to challenges related to the collaborative robotic solution and providing different skills and capacities between all of them a more completed robotic ecosystem. Our partners are involved is Cartif, Intelimed, PAL Robotic, and Politecnico di Milano are the pilot owners. The challenges, the step 1 is dismantling and assembling high-value products, and challenge 2 is complex product picking. And the step 2 is a flexible assembly and package, robotic kitting assistant. And the PAL Robotic, the challenges are more in the healthcare sector. Is a multimodal human-robot interactions and fetch and carry tasks in these environments. Politecnico di Milano have 2 challenges, improving the efficiency of workers in high-precision tasks, and ergonomics is related to these challenges, but all of these challenges completed a different robotic application to generate more expertise in this robotic application. But we can't go to the next slide. But you can see an example of the challenge that we're working on it in this first year of the project. Is the futures, this is the dismantling and assembly of high-value products. The futures for robotic skill is 3D object perception using specific cameras, mixed reality integration through the HoloLens glasses, and robust voice command recognition. So the future for robotic skills. Always maintaining that Francisco commented this ethic frameworks is maintaining ethics and human-centric standards such as data protection and privacy principles or ethical handling of human data. The main objective to create a reusable human-robot interaction skills for assisting disassembly, increasing efficiency and safety by reducing the human workload. This is an example for inspiring other example of the other application in these open call processes. Next, please. The pilots or TEF in the vocabulary of the project are a central point of the project. The pilots provide requirements and needs to the middleware, the all-in-one middleware that commented before, but developers need feedback about this implementation in the TEFs. Another way that they receive the toolbox and AI features that to implement it in the pilots. You can see the purple box, the testing and experimentation is the idea is this year we have the implementation plan to incorporate the ARISE middleware being the hosted pilot as early adopters of the toolset and AI features. The orange box is the ethical SSH framework analysis by including interviews and on-site visits from experts. to apply and integrate this knowledge in the robotic application later. In the green box, the pilots provide outcomes for the open call as the potential challenges and inspiring example as an effective guide and documentation for these processes, open call processes. In the pink box, you have a technical knowledge sharing, insight guidance, and lesson learned during the first year with support and mentoring, providing handbooks and guidance for the participant in the processes. Next. ARISE promotes innovation, standardization, and interoperability. The open source module will have a lasting impact, elevating the creation of the robotic applications. New market in collaborative robotic present provides opportunities for companies, startups, and SMEs, embracing the innovation developed by the project. The key objectives include collaboration with these technologies, open source technologies, and ROS2, Fiber, and ROS4 standards. European Innovation Action as a network of digital innovation hubs. ARISE middleware provides impact in the industry sector, including healthcare, manufacturing, logistics, and services, by elevating the capabilities and efficiency, increasing productivity, reduce cost, leading business model, services, and job opportunity, ensuring worker safety and robotic system efficiency. That is everything so far. Thank you, everyone. If you have more interest in our open call processes, let us know to provide more information. Thank you.
Thank you, Mireia and Francisco. I'll take the floor now, and I will present expression of interest, their requirements. We will talk about what is actually expression of interest and what's the purpose of it. We will talk about the timeline and how to apply. So what's actually expression of interest and when can you apply? So our expression of interest aims to create the pool of significant end users and technology providers, so that the successful consortium can be created later during a first open call that will be open from October this year. Yes. The list, the purpose of this expression of interest in the ARISE project is to be validated, the end users as well as the technology provider, and then the list of those validations will be published in the guide for applicants for the first open call, ARISE open call, so that the full proposals can be successful with the matchmaking that will be carried out in September. Here, I would like to get your attention that the expression of interest opened 17th of June, and it will be open till 30th of August. What that means that after 30th of August, you are not gonna be able to apply to this expression of interest. Here, the first step, it's the call for end user that we call expression of interest. So if you are end user and technology provider, you can apply in our call individually. Because if you are an end user and technology provider at the same time, you might go forward to our open call that will be launched in October. There is no need for you to be validated. So the whole purpose is for you to be validated and then included in a list that will be shared for future applicants for the open call. And how it will be done? It will be done by the validation. That it's the second step of this expression of interest. And actually the second step of the whole process is the open call for proposals. In this open call, you will be able to apply as a consortia. So we will be looking for end user and technology providers. As you can see here on the presentation, between the first step and second step, there is a matchmaking process that will be carried out. So you will be able to introduce yourself on our Discord, and we will provide you the tool, and I will show you more about that later. Here, for you to see the whole picture, the whole perspective of our ARISE first and second open call, we will be having more than 20 experiments for the collaborative robotics applications. So in the first year, we will develop and integrate the experimentation of the middleware and the host pilots. So month first was the kickoff, then the project execution, then demonstration will be there, and the HR models. In the second year, 2025, there will be a first round of the experiment. So applicants that will be selected on the through the open call will follow that these stages. In the third year, we will have the second round of experiments that will be applied, and we will learn the lessons from the first round. So here we are talking about 26 human experiments, and then support and mentoring. And as a timeline of the first ARISE open call, and as well as the expression of interest, we are right now in this period where you can apply, be validated, provided support, and then be on the list that we will provide in the guide for applicants for the open call. The pre-selection validation will take place in September. So once the deadline passed, we will, the selection committee technical partners from ARISE project will validate your proposals and later on include in the list. Matchmaking process will be throughout the whole open call. What means matchmaking process, I will present in the next slides. But here, after the open call, you will go through the eligibility check, internal evaluation, consensus meeting, the legal check, jury day, and signature, sub-grant agreement signature. That will most probably take place in the next year, March next year. But here on this webinar, we will definitely focus on the expression of interest that we today would like to present to you and give you more details on this step. So who are we actually looking for? Who can apply? If you're an end user, we are looking for end user that is a small company, a small medium enterprise. However, another entity of any type can apply also. Here, you have to remember that if you are another type of entity, you have to find an SME if you would like to build a consortium for the open call. We will talk about this later, definitely. So we are looking for end user that is legally registered. So you need to be registered before 17th of June this year to start the date of expression of interest. Does that mean that you will not be able later on to apply for the open call? No, you are just not gonna go through the validation and you will not be included in the list for the open call. And who are the end users? The end users are the owners of industrial facility. So it means that you have already the industrial facility in place, their process already in place, and their the production is already running. Who else are we looking for? We are looking for technology provider. So if you're a technology provider, we encourage you also to apply in this expression of interest. If you're a small medium enterprise and you are a startup and makeups, you can also apply as a technology provider with the again the requirement that you need to be registered before 17th of June. Here, who is the technology provider? Is the role of designer of the development and implementing the building blocks and the functional solutions that will be demonstrated together with the end users and the end users facilities. So besides having the who can apply as end user and technology providers, please remember that all the entities have to be established in any of the member states of the European Union and overseas countries, associated countries to Horizon Europe. All this information you can find in the guidelines that I will present. So now, what are we actually offer? So what you can take from this application from us? You will be validated applicant to benefit from those three main points. You will be, as I mentioned before, included in a list of validated end users and technology providers. And also for those who are submitting proposals and did not participate in the expression of interest, they will be able to contact you and to identify the partner in you. So then later the consortium can be made. The second main offering that we have for you is to receive you will receive the assistance in identifying the potential end user and technology providers in case you have not been contacted by any tool or anyone. We will be trying to support you in any way to meet your needs as well. And then the last additional point that we will be assisting you is the technical partners will be assisting in refining the full proposals. Does that mean that we will be helping in writing the proposal? No, we will be helping you and guiding you to point if you're in scope or out of scope and which challenges you can apply to ensure that it all aligns with the requirements that are outlined for the first ARISE open call. And actually now I will show you the landing page where you can apply. It is our expression of interest application form. So if you could just please confirm that you see the landing page on your screen. I believe yes. We do. Great.
Yes, we can see it.
So here is the landing page. You can find all the information about this expression of interest. If you are looking for general information, here we've linked LinkedIn, YouTube, and also ARISE website, where you will find the general information about the ARISE project. Here we focus only on the expression of interest and on the application. So if you click apply now, we will go through the application. Before that, I would like to just point that all the information, as I mentioned before, the call opens and deadlines, the project objectives, so what are we about, and all the informations. Before we do that and actually go through the application form, I would like to focus a little bit on the guides and documents that we have included. So those are the main requirements for you to get the information, who can apply, how the evaluation is going to look like, and then the next steps. In the guidelines for applicants, you can find the introduction, the overall overview and summary, the eligibility criteria, the validation process, and the final provisions. Please bear in mind that in this expression of interest, we're not providing any funding. So you are not applying for any funding. You will apply for funding in the open call in October later on. The second most important document is the industrial HRI challenges. So if you are applying as an end user or technology provider, you will be focusing on those 8 challenges. And here they are well described, the challenges, the key capabilities that you need to tackle, and they are provided the examples that you can take from. That would be all from the guides and the requirements when it comes to our documents. I would like to go through the application itself. So here, if you click apply, you can see already I have created my applications, and you can create more than one application, or you can just start a new application. I will start a new application and the new form opens for you. Here you can see the history, and you can also add a contributor, which means that you will be able to share this application with your colleague. So if you sign up on our platform, if you have already an account registered, you are able easily to connect with your colleague, and you can fill it in the application together with your colleague. So here we will be asking you for basic information such as name, contacts, and question about if you are financially or personally linked with the ARISE consortium partners. And in the legal information, we will ask your legal status, your name of the entity, and your address. We will also ask about the website and more details, legal information. Here in the third section, you can choose the role that you are applying for. So for example, I am an user, I am applying for as an end user. And if I apply for end user, here is the list of the challenges that you can choose and apply. Here, later on, we're asking you more technical questions. If you can, that you have to answer. Please remember that the questions are mandatory, and here the dedicated comments and the evidence that you have to support us, and your statement should be provided in the PDF that you can apply later on here. If you would like to apply more, if you can upload more documents, there is another additional space for you to do so. We'll get back to the second role that you can apply also. It's the technology provider, as you can see in here. And there is a set of questions that you should fill in, as well as the PDF with the evidence that we will be asking for. And the fourth section, it's the statistical question. So here are the questions about from where did you hear and from where are you coming from. Declaration of honor, please bear in mind that you have to agree, but you have that you read, and understood the information about the project and all the requirements. So read very carefully this part, it's very important as well. After the declaration of honor, we have the section of the processing of personal data. You can here read the information clause that we included. And that would be all for your applications. Once this is done, you can apply. Once you fill it in, you will be able to apply with your application. What else is on our landing page? How we can actually support you. Here in this corner, I believe Marta on the chat will be sending you the link to our Discord. This is our tool and channel to give you a support from our team, where you can ask the questions, where you can clear out your doubts, any administrative doubts, any technical ones. Here we've introduced the little checks how to get there, but I would like to show you the Discord itself, how it looks like. So if you go to our channels, you will see the open calls, help desks, and a matchmaking expression of interest tool that later on, after validation, you'll be using to introduce yourself as a technology provider or end user looking for another team member to build the consortium for the open call. I'll get back to my presentation right now, and I hope you can see it. It should be shown right now. I've included this slide as well. If you would like to quickly join our help desk right now, you can just scan the QR code and join immediately. I have already spoken about the guidelines where you can find all the information. And now we have included a validation criteria for end user and technology provider on the next slide. And I will not be describing what are actually the validation criteria, but here I would like to point out that this validation will be carried out by selection committee. So based on those criteria, the selection committee, which is composed of the technical partners of ARISE project, will be validating your proposal. And I believe that from my side, this is all. And I will now give the floor to Francisco to tell you a little bit more about the technical part. Francisco, I believe that you're muted.
Yes, now I am muted. Well, I was just saying thank you for your presentation, and also that I will be very brief with the coming slides, because now your improved section almost covered everything. So let's go briefly through what I had. Yes, I just captured in here the titles of the challenges, and as you pointed out, the document is elaborating more in detail of what is this about. But what I want to stress from here is that also regarding the question from Magno, is that we do not consider the hardware robotics platform with the embedded software cobots or collaborative robots itself. We are speaking about collaborative robotics applications, and it is that the robotic systems are doing the tasks easier, or let's say are accelerating the human operators in a joint task space. And it is because of that that we have this pool of challenges. In the challenge 1 and 2, we are focusing on this sorting, assembly, disassembly, and complex product picking part of the collaborative robotics applications. Then we have challenge 3 and 4, which are more oriented towards the agile configuration and execution of these robotics applications. We are doing something for targeting something for creating skills that allow the robot to be flexible in their behavior, or to accelerate programmers with even, let's say, limited programming capabilities. So this thing towards encapsulated no-code modules. And then if we go to the next slide, we have 2 other blocks with the challenges. Challenges 5 and 6 focus more on collaborative robotics applications which build on a mobile robotics platform. So navigation related issues should target mostly challenge 5 and 6. And then in challenge 7 and 8, we are approaching the collaborative robotics application from a different angle, and is in where robotics assistant take care of the ergonomics and the safety of the task, so that the operator is always actuating from a comfortable and safe position, or let's say it is physically preventing injuries from repetition. So it's this kind of robot assistant in industrial setting what we are targeting. We could go to the next slide. Let's see. Yes, in here again, it is the detailed requirements that you were presented. I will not enter into the details with this. We went through this in the first webinar. The relevant thing is that as an end user, I must operate an industrial facility setting. Something special in here: what happens with the universities or those who really own an industrial facility setting that is aimed at creating the solution for one particular industrial company. Well, in that case, we could consider the university as a valid end user, but we will need evidences of the company demonstrator that is, let's say, being fed by the university demonstrator. So we do need the business case and the industrial company motivating the industrial facility setting that is deployed in the RTO or the university. Nothing more special from this slide. Next one. Yes, the technology provider profile. In here, what I could just tell you is that, and Antonio in the question and answer session could help me a bit to elaborate a bit more on this, is that you in the end will need to deliver this reusable robot skill package. So for that, you need somehow the skills for preparing the open reference implementation of the module and a way to package everything and contribute it to the catalog. But at the same time, we are creating something for an industrial demonstrator. So you need to have these skills to deal with actual automation problems in the field, to deploy your collaborative robotics applications, and to generate value for the industrial end user. If it is the case that you do not have all the skills in-house, you could identify partners that support you, and we are following the overall guidelines of the European projects program. So whenever you are not dropping a critical task of the project, that you are the main contributor of this, you could somehow externalize partially some of the developments. And for that, there is a model to consider what is convenient or inconvenient in this direction. But let's just keep the message that if at some point you require some tech provider collaborator, there would be some means to allocate budget for that. This is what I wanted to stress in here. And yes, this is just a summary slide. Manufacturing, healthcare, and service sectors are our key target sectors. We have the list of challenges. The problems we are addressing require humans and robots to collaborate in a shared workspace. And the target is to augment the human. So we are not targeting the replacement. It must be there that this Industry 5.0 take to a smart industry digitization. Then it is about ROS2 and our standards for ROS for HRI and FIWARE. For sure, you can rely on whatever technology you are using, but for the reusable module you are going to contribute, you will be exporting these ROS2 interfaces and generating this kind of utilities with the FIWARE stack. LLM-based approaches are relevant to us, and for sure, any single legacy or proprietary tech that you showcase with, let's say, huge potential to be standardized with ROS2 is prioritized too. Regarding the SSH part, I am putting in here some of the key questions you could ask yourself, and this is where we will focus our work. What data is being gathered and why, how the data is transferred and flowing through the application, how it is stored, what we are monitoring, what is sensitive to us, what is affecting the worker safety. These kind of questions need to be answered at the design stage so that we ensure we are in line with the program and with what the European Commission is requesting from the RISE Innovation Action. Well, I think I am almost done, Patricia. Let's see the next one, but I think that was the last one. Yes, we are now in the Q&A. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for all the presentations. So I must say that your presentations were quite comprehensive because we really don't have many questions on chat, but there are a few. So let me start with the first one that Francisco partly already answered, but maybe you would like to elaborate a little bit more, Francisco. So is it mandatory that robots should be collaborative, or can we propose collaborative tasks in such a workspace, but using conventional industrial robots?
Yes, in fact, I adapted the pitch because of the question in order to just be dropping some hints along the way. And yes, let's say from the different standards we have visited and from the consultancy we are receiving from the European Commission, we have come to the point in which we are not referring to the robotics platforms or the cobots as collaborative robotics. It is the application which makes the robotics hardware collaborative. So to us, a shared space in which the robotics machines are helping the human to accelerate or to augment his or her capabilities in a task so that the human, the operator, identifies the added value of the machine, that's quite okay. And it could be an industrial robot that is doing the tending for a particular workstation, and it's relieving me up from doing this carrying of heavy materials. What is the edge of a valid case? To me, if you target collaborative robotics applications, there should be some case in which the safety stop mechanism is eventually to be triggered. There is some case in which an intentional contact with the robot happens. For sure, we are working without fences. Is this part of things? Top level would be, imagine a joint assembly task in which the human and the robot are co-working, let's say, in a sequential phase and even in parallel. That is the top level of the horizon. But for instance, as I was explaining, ergonomics thing in which a part the operator is working on has some fixtures to a robotic machine that is able to keep the part in the proper position so that the operator works comfortably. application. So it is not that the robotics platform, but the application use case, what is telling us if this is really collaborative application or not.
Thank you very much, Francisco. Another one is to Antonio. Antonio, will the internal evaluation process scheduled for January 2025 will be carried out by a panel or of external experts?
Actually, they mentioned internal evaluation is not going to be internal. So it's an evaluation that's going to be made by independent experts, external experts to the project. And it will be run after the deadline of the call. So, but we are not at this stage now because we are now in the stage of the expression of interest, which is ending by the 30th of August. So I would prefer to concentrate the questions on this specific expression of interest phase. But of course, when the open call is launched, it will last 3 months. After that, there will be an evaluation and a selection process that is going to be externalized, the evaluation, and then, of course, the members of the selection committee within the ARISE consortium will make the final decisions. There will be also a jury day, but again, this is something that I think we are anticipating too much. The idea of these sessions we are having now is that you can apply as an end user or as a technology provider to get validated formally from the consortium and have more chances to make a successful application when time comes. So, and by the way, I would like to highlight that you can think that you are, as my colleague Patricia said, you can think that you can be both of them. You can be an end user and a technology provider. That is perfectly fine. And in fact, you won't need to apply to this phase because in the end, you could eventually apply to the open call alone on your own, if you are an SME, of course. But if not, if you consider you can be an end user or you can be a technology provider, then the good thing from this expression of interest is that you can get validated by the consortium, and then again have the means to do proper matchmaking with another partner, and then make a better or more successful applications. Thanks to the services that my colleague Patricia also mentioned, we will help you rather than help you, guide you in the way you should focus to be on the scope, in scope of the project objectives, and also to be capable of making finding the right partner for you. I don't know if there are other questions.
Yes, there are. There's another one for you. Will the help desk be available during both the expression of interest and the proposal preparation phase?
The help desk, of course, is going to be open and ready and available anytime. Anytime from the day that the expression of interest was launched until the deadline of the open call, which will be by the end of the year. So, and we are happy to receive as many questions you like and respond to any of them. We are using this Discord for the benefit of everybody, because if you make a question and then some other goes to the Discord and finds the answer that we have provided and would have the same question or similar question, then instead of asking us again, he or she can have the answer there.
Mm-hmm. Let me also remind you that I already sent you the link to our Discord on chat, and also you will receive that link in the communication after the webinar that you will find on your inboxes. If you did give us the marketing consent, please also go to the microsite that is also linked on the chat, and then there is the special tab on the microsite that is called Help Desk. You can join there. Okay, another one for you, Antonio. Canada joined Horizon Europe on 3rd July 2024. Are Canadian companies now eligible for funding for the ARISE program?
Okay, this is an interesting question because the ARISE program follows strictly the rules from Horizon Europe. So any country that is in the list of eligible countries in the Horizon Europe program will be eligible, of course, in ARISE. Now, if Canada joined a few days ago, the list that we are providing in the guidelines, for example, of the expression of interest, we are pointing you out to the link where you can find the list, the official list from the European Commission. And of course, it hasn't been updated. So Canada is not there right now. But of course, I mean, if Canada is not yet in the list of associated countries, eligible countries for Horizon Europe, because it takes some time, we are not in the position to allow Canadian companies to this expression of interest. But hopefully, between now and the day we are going to open the call, which will be in October, I am pretty sure that this will be updated. And then, of course, we will update in our systems, in our platforms, the list of eligible countries. But right now, if you are willing to apply, you will see that there is in the application form a range or a list of countries. You can select one of them and you won't find Canada there. So right now, for this stage of expression of interest, my answer is that the Canadian company cannot apply, but it doesn't mean that if, again, in October, it will be already officially a member or join the Horizon Europe and be in the list, the official list from the European Commission, will have it for sure.
Thank you, Antonio. Another two are about funding. So first one, can the funding be used for wages or hardware and services only? And the other connected one is actually if you can give some more details on how the funding should be used, for what kind of activities?
Okay, let me answer through the first question, and maybe I will ask Francisco to help me on the second one. So the activities you can, your costs can be eligible for are wages or personal costs, travel expenses, equipment or consumables that you might need for your experiment. And there is also room for subcontracting. Now, this is we are not in this moment in the phase of talking and too much about this, because again, in the expression of interest, there is no money. There is just this validation. So we are actually anticipating, and when time comes and we are in the open call, we will explain that in the guide for applicants and also in the webinars in every. But basically, wages or of course personal costs are one of the parts, and equipment or other services that you might need are part of this, as in any European project, you know. So,
Francisco, do you have anything to add?
Yes, just my 2 cents on this is that since as in every single funded project, there is a budget limiting the capacity for the work capacity in the project, even though it is possible to dedicate budget for equipment, we do need to see an ambitious program for the contribution of this reusable robot skill, and also the TRL 6-7 demonstrator. Our project in particular is targeting as much as possible to reach out to the number 7. So this will be something that we will consider when evaluating applications. And well, if we identify that most of the budget is to be spent in acquiring a very expensive robotics platform, then it is something that perhaps will be identified as a weakness in the implementation plan. This is the opportunity. So it is needed to be clear on what is the type of contribution that you plan to do in regards to the ARISE Fund FSTB program.
Thank you, Francisco. I believe there is another one also to you. Is a robot systems manufacturer a qualifying technology provider?
Yes. I mean, there is no reason to give a negative answer to this. The point is more connected to the capabilities of the tech provider I was referring in my previous slide. Are you able to deliver this kind of ROS2 package that is something similar to the Navigation 2, MOVEit, or whatever around your contribution? So do you have in-house capabilities to build this open reference implementation and use it even as a marketing tool for you, a test before invest of the module you are selling then as a closed solution? Are you able to integrate this with the demonstrator that you are planning to run as a TRL 6-7 demonstrator? If you are able to do these things, then you perfectly qualify as a tech provider. Then I would go even further. Is a robotic manufacturer a good end user? Okay, you have your production line. Are you assembling your robotics platforms in there? And are you able to develop, to carry out an end-to-end project execution? Okay, you could present yourself as a single entity consortium and just motivate why you are prepared to do every single thing. This is open, and what should guide you to decide whether something is okay or not is that in the end, this open reference implementation is some kind of demonstrator open source based software with pretty good documentation and a good testing environment. You will develop then your proprietary or IP related demonstrator that must reach out the TRL 6-7, being 7 the ARISE priority. And beyond than that, everything is okay. If you are deviating from this, you should consider that perhaps it is not the best idea that is flowing through your mind.
Thank you very much. And Antonio, is there limitation of applying apart avoiding double funding in relation to other Horizon Europe program? Is there a self-financing for the actual project which will run after March 2025?
Again, this is a question that comes a little bit early in the process because this will come when the open call is launched. But I can tell you that right now, for example, in this expression of interest, first thing is that you can apply to several challenges because in the end, you can be validated to several challenges. And the fact is that in the open call, you will be able to apply to just one challenge, okay? Now, is there any restriction, limitation in apart from double funding? Of course, you have double funding, and this is something that we will check internally in funding box if you are selected for funding. But apart from that, there is no other limitation. That if you can have had previous fundings from other projects, there is no link between this project and other projects.
Thank you. And Francisco, it was mentioned during the presentation that the tech providers have the role of designing, developing, and implementing the solution, and the end user provide the facility and means to install it. Is this a rigid division, or can the implementation be transferred to the end user if it makes sense within the context of the project?
Well, I think this is connected to my previous answer. Let me be totally clear on this. We are targeting not only the connection of ethics and this human centricity with technology. We are targeting the connection between tech providers and end users. And every single time a proposal seems to be a tailor-made proposal for the tech provider to do whatever he or she wants to do to increase their portfolio without caring about an end user that is bringing the business case and the needs, and that brings the motivation to audit the tech provider and to, let's say, bring this co-creation between the end user and the tech provider during the experiment is misaligning with the spirit of the RISE project. So yes, it could be that you create your demonstrator as a tech provider and then the transfer is to a company. Okay, but I would say that it's difficult to create a storyline without the end user committing to participate in the demonstrator somehow, replicating a station, integrating the solution for some time in their workstation. Well, it's difficult. It could be. In fact, when I was referring to this thing with the universities or the RTOs, I was referring to this in that way because often it is that there is a long-term collaboration between the RTO and the company, and it is already in there a workstation where the pilots are being done. So we need that context in which the tech provider is jumping into the needs of an end user and not just inventing or being creative around a demonstrator that could be potentially of added value to a series of end users. I don't know if I am clear, but I am open to just enter into a short chat with whoever has doubts on this aspect, because I think it's relevant for all of us to be in the right track and to make the most out of the funding program.
Thank you very much, Francisco. So once again, regarding to what Francisco said, if you are having any doubts and you would like to discuss your case, please reach out to us on Discord. And as it was the last question, maybe any one of you speakers would like to have a final word on anything.
I do see in here one last comment. It was mentioned during the presentation that the tech providers have the role.
Yes, that is the one that I just read.
That's it. No? Okay. Then, well, nothing special to add. What I do know is that once the participants in this expression of interest kind of think a bit more in detail on what to present, what is what we do want. I am quite certain that a number of questions will arise. So please formulate them, reach out to us, and I really encourage you to participate in the Discord discussions, because this way we will be effective in setting up a proper funding program. If not, there will be, as often happens, that we have some misalignments and we do waste some time of potential project execution and even evaluation because we didn't manage to make our message clear enough for you. So please formulate your questions, and we are willing just to give you answers.
Thank you so much. Antonio, anything to add about the plan?
Yeah, well, just to encourage everyone to apply to this step. You might think that, okay, there is no money involved in that stage, but it will be very useful for you guys to be validated by the consortium, because you will be more comfortable when applying to the open call by having this kind of seal of excellence, I would say, that you are validated, and then that also that you will have access to the right partners, and we will provide you the necessary support, not to write your proposal, of course, but to guide you and make it possible for you to elaborate the best proposal you can. So please don't be shy and apply. You have until the 30th of August. After that, we will do an internal validation procedure, and in 1-2 weeks, we will let you know if you are validated or not. And after that, when the open call was launched in October, then you will be, as I said, more comfortable in the fact that at least you can be sure that when you say that you are an end user, we also think that you are an end user, and you are in the scope of what we are looking for, and so it's all benefits for you to follow this step.
Thank you, Antonio. Mireia, do you want to say something?
Only a message, but let us know though, in the same way that my colleagues Francisco and Antonio, that let us know all of the doubts and questions, to join this community. There is community in Discord, but to improve this ecosystem and the creation of this ARISE mode. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the presentation. Thank you very much, attendees, for your participation in this webinar. I'm stopping the recording right now.